Hello, it's Mr. Leung here, and I would like to go through the Unit 2 with you. And then for the Unit 2, first of all, we are going to divide the Unit 2 into two different categories, and which is mainly residential land use and also industrial land use. Okay, so for the residential land use, we are going to mainly divide into some lower class residential as well as the high income residential, low income residential. Sorry. Okay, and so but what are the difference between high income residential and also the low income residential? As I have told you before, I think you will choose these for the high income residential, isn't it? Okay, so but why? Mainly is because the environment is good, the living space is larger, and then the population density is low, and then there are a lot many open space. So accordingly, you will feel better to live in there, isn't it? Okay, so this is how the high income residential look like. Okay, so you may also trying to write your essay for by telling this for sentence and also or distribution or description to me. Okay, and I think it's already a good paragraph to make up the description of the high income residential already. How about the low income residential? Low income residential is mainly maybe public housing, maybe squatters, maybe also the old buildings, okay, in the old urban areas. So in Kowloon Tong or Repulse Bay or mid-level, I don't think you will see this kind of low income residential, and then it will always be like the high income residential. Okay, so what is it mainly? And also for your verbal or for your essay, most of you have omitted for the lower class residential. Indeed, we are divided in three categories. So you can write three paragraphs for the low income residential. There are more to tell, okay? Then I will talk about these different kinds of low income residential in another YouTube, which is about explanation of your essay. And but for instance, I would like to go through the all the residential area in Hong Kong. First of all, and you can see the high income residential, which is mainly like this one, and you can find the space is very large, and then also the living environment excellent. Okay, maybe in there's a private swimming pool, private car park, so on and so forth. Okay, the price will be very expensive for this kind of building. At least you need 100 million for doing so, or 0.1 billion for doing so. Okay, and it takes a lot of money. And then the example, which is mid-level, and also the peak, which is we have just talked about. Okay, and then the middle income residential mainly is the flat size is medium, and then the living environment is generally quite good. Okay, just like the Wong Park Garden, and then also the Tai Gu Sing. Okay, and I think Wong Park Garden is more familiar with you. Okay, you should be more familiar with Wong Park Garden. Okay, and then for the low income residential, the small size, the flat size is small, and then the poor living environment is taking place, and then mainly the price is cheap. Maybe you are just walking through to Ample Lane, and then you may find some old building, and there are some advertisement for the rental of this kind of building, which is just several thousand per month. So it's quite cheap, and then the Sample Gong or the nearby Tu Gong one is also having this kind of land use. Okay, and how about more different kinds of lower income residential area, which include the public housing, which is all over the Hong Kong, and then examples include Wong Tai Sin, Taiwan. Okay, for example, Zhuk Yun, for example, Heng Hua Estate. Okay. Mostly they are small inside, not too large, which is just on 300 or 200 feet. Depends on how many people is living. And then for the old urban areas, mostly it is in the early developed area, which is the old urban areas. Okay, which include the Wan Chai, Sham Shui Po, Tai Kok Chui, mainly is overcrowded, and then also there may be, and in Chinese you may know that tong fang, which is can be explained in subdivided housing. Subdivided housing, okay, which is going to divide a housing unit into different apartment or different rooms that can allow the owner can have higher income. Okay, how about squatters area? It's in the hillside. Satin is having it. I will going to show you later in another video, which is talking about the essay Lei Yun Moon, and which is about the where just like today we are having typhoon number 8, and then the clues of the TV, maybe the reporters maybe go to the Lei Yun Moon to check out, oh, weather is having a very serious damage about the squatters in Lei Yun Moon, okay, because they are built along the sea, built in the coastal area, and then they are vulnerable to the typhoon, okay. The living environment is poor, okay. How about the industrial land use? Industrial land use is also divided into two categories mainly. Okay, first of all, for those printing is a kind of labor intensive job. Okay, labor intensive, which needs you need to having a lot of routine and repeating procedure. Okay, you keep copying the book in the copying machine, or blinding the print the materials. So this kind of thing will be the print factory labor intensive working procedure. Okay, so what are the main factors that's affecting their location? I think it should be the cheap labor. Okay, so where should they locate it in? They should locate it in the Sanpogong or Tuguawan, along the streets in the Tuguawan. You may find a lot of factory. Okay, because in the 70 decades or 80 decades, a lot of people living in the Tuguawan area, and they are mostly having not that good living situation, and then they need to find a work that which is providing relatively better money, and being a factory worker on that time is quite good. So accordingly, they this kind of printing factory or industry will be located next to the lower income residential. Okay, but right now, or the 90 decades or 21st century, most of them will be located in the Taipo industrial estate or the industrial estate in Liu Tang. Okay, but why? Because the industrial areas in Taipo Liu Tang are separate from this residential area. Just like the can I show you in the Google Earth? Wait a minute. And then mainly for the Taipo, which is when you are riding the bicycle from Taipo or Taiwai to Taimei Tok. Okay, Taimei Tok is right here, and then in the midway you may find this kind of building. Okay, let's have a closer look to there. Okay, maybe some of the brand you have heard about, 李錦記啦、大快活啦、Lee Kam K and Fairwood. Okay, this one is the Fairwood factory, as I haven't forget, but it's broader. Yeah, you can see Fairwood right here, and in the midway of the bicycle trail you can also see the factory, which is full of the decoration of Fairwood trademark. Okay, then this kind of industrial building will be provided will be located in the industrial in the Taipo area. Why? Because previously for the old urban industrial area is too compacted. Just like the environment like us, and you may find there's a Chinatown gas which is next to the Grand Waterfront. Okay, and then indeed it's not a very good situation. Why? Because this one is explosive. Come on, okay. Then if there are some problem or accident here, the whole Grand Waterfront will become having we're having some troubles. But indeed, Grand Waterfront is having a lot of industrial building packed with them, so they're quite poor. But anyway, so in order to reduce this kind of air pollution, fire problem, maybe, and also the traffic congestion, so accordingly, Tai Po is well planned to avoid this kind of problem. Why? Because you can see in between the residential area of Tai Po. This is the residential area of Tai Po. You can see some swimming pool right here, and also it's relatively smaller but taller. Okay, and then there's a lot of estates, and this area is the residential area of Tai Po. In between the residential area of Tai Po and the industrial area of Tai Po, there are some park to acting like a buffer zone to reduce the problem caused by the industrial area. Okay, the pollution will not directly affecting the residential area of Tai Po. So that's how it's working for the industrial estates. Although it's quite near to the residential area still, and it's not going to affect that much like the one in the Tugawan. So that's how they are working. Okay, and what's more, how is it located? Okay, how is it located? Okay, mainly Tai Po, Sha Tin, Yuen Long, and Tuen Mun, the square one, and also Zhangguan O. Okay, as I say, the where TV Buddy living in TVB located. Okay, then it's always by the square. Okay, it's having the square. So this is the place that's having some buffer by the park. Okay, and for those, it is in circle like this one, and the circle one is always in the old urban area. Okay, like Chai Wan, Quarry Bay, Wong Chuk Hang, and when you are passing through the Ocean Park, you may find some industrial estate, industrial building as well. Okay, and how about the triangle? We are just having two. Okay, which is the high-tech development. Okay, for the high-tech development, you can have the science park and also the cyber port, which always doing some high-tech job. Okay, what's right here, as you can see, old urban area for the multi-story factory buildings, and then for the new town, we are having industrial zone or industrial estates, and also for the since the late 1990s, we are having Sha Tin and Buffalo to support the development of the high technology industry. So what is it about? Mainly, I have told you here as already, which is the low-income residential area we have to be next to the industrial building in order to provide job, and also the resident right here can save their money and then save their time. Okay, so accordingly, they are having better life right there by living in there. Okay, how about Tai Po? As I've said before, the park is right here and then acting like a buffer zone. Okay, which is separating the industrial area with the residential area, reducing the negative impact of the industrial activities like the air pollution. Okay, how about the cyberport and science park? Okay, for more, I can give you an video about the taken by Mr. Leung as well in the science park, and but it's for Form 3, but somehow I can show you. Okay, along with the video in this note. Okay, then what is science park is always doing some high-tech industry. For example, if you've been to the science park, you may find that some LED fluorescent tube industry, and then also they will also doing some solar panels, so on and so forth. So accordingly, its high-tech industry are having a lot of professionals. Okay, some of you in the workbook just writing high-tech industry are educated professional. Come on, they are not a human being. Okay, come on, we shouldn't write like this. Okay, you're gonna be careful whether it's talking about the people or it is talking about the place. Okay, if it's talking about a place, don't tell Sha Tin is educated professional. He is not a human being, right? And then why they can having such a land use is because it's always located next to the high income residential as well. Just like Bel Air, you can see the Chinese right there, Bui Sha Wan, and then is having high rent, and then the education professional that working in the cyberport or science park, they can afford the high rent and then look for a good living environment. Okay, then it is located next to the cyberport, and then it can help to uh, with, help them to have a better life because they can live next to where they work. Okay, so that is for the uh, explanation of the notes. Okay, I will have more YouTube about the essay and also the workbook correction. Stay tuned. Okay, bye.